Hey Internet, Eric here. Well, it is Fright Friday once again. It's been a long time since it's been Fright Friday. Since it's been that long, if you don't know what Fright Friday is, over on the Horror Freak 85 YouTube channel, link will be in the description below. That was a concept where, at least at the time, every Friday there would be a category picked at random, and you would, if you chose to participate, pick a movie that fit into said category and discuss it. Um, with the return of Fright Friday, and hopefully it returns more, maybe if not weekly, bi-weekly, hopefully on a more permanent basis. Um, this week's category was Wicked Wildeye, and what you were supposed to do is pick a movie released by Wildeye. Wildeye is a company known for distributing pretty much anything. I think of it kind of like trauma, but not necessarily as vulgar. So basically, budget doesn't matter, acting doesn't matter. It's just to help distribute people's movies out to the public. Um, and first, let me discuss this right off the back. Um, I am known for, just so people don't jump down my throat, because there are two groups of people on YouTube concerning Wild Eye. There are people that really, really love Wild Eye, and there's people that fucking hate Wild Eye. I will fully admit that one time I was trashing Wild Eye on Twitter, at least concerning the trailers of the movies that they had released. I thought a lot of the trailers for the movies they were releasing or distributing looked like pure garbage. And then I reviewed a movie on this channel, and it was Shark Exorcist, and it was possibly the worst film I've ever reviewed or discussed on this channel. But since then, when I did my 13 days of Halloween, or whatever the hell I called it back then, I also reviewed and discussed another Wildlife film called Baby Frankenstein, which I absolutely fell in love with. So so far, Wildlife has been hit and miss with films I have discussed. I either really enjoyed it, Baby Frankenstein, or I fucking hated it with Shark Exorcist. So I have no loyalty. Regardless of what I said of the trailers, I was judging a book by its cover, and so far, they've been 50-50. So anyway, long story short, after that, my Wild Eye movie that I am discussing for today's Fright Friday is the Jurassic Dead. This is the only Wild Eye movie that I personally own. I had this sent to me in a, I guess you would say, care packet. Yeah, look at that. A care package, I guess you would say, by my buddy Steve from Hey It's Steve. Um, this was one of many, many movies he sent me. It's the only Wildlife movie, so I figured why not? It will give me a reason to watch it. And I'm sorry, I fucking hated this movie. Here's why. First off, okay, I like air quotes dumb movies. I like air quotes bad movies. I like air quotes stupid movies. I love Howard the Duck. I love the Super Mario Brothers movies. I love fucking Jason Goes to Hell. I love so many movies that everyone hates. I have this whole "you hate it, I don't" playlist on my channel. So I know that this movie probably isn't going to be good. I know this movie probably isn't going to have a budget. I grew up on trauma films. I know this movie's probably going to have awful acting, what have you. But I watched this film, and it was probably the biggest chore of a movie that I have had to watch in a long time. And I'll get to why. Um, well, the basic plot of this movie, as I was able to pick, to figure it out, is there was this scientist who found a way to reanimate the dead, basically by some type of, I don't know, not one, some type of chemical or science experiment he created. He pretty much reproduces, in my opinion, the reanimator juice, I guess you would say. The government wants it for some reason. He tests it on a T Rex because there's a T Rex there. The government has a T Rex. A year later, he is getting kicked out of the university that he teaches for because they found out his crazy practices because he tests it on a cat in front of his students. Then he gets hit by a car in the most laughable thing I've ever seen. Again, years down the road, now he has taken over an underground base, and I guess he's threatening to blow up the world or launch nukes or some bullshit. And we have commandos going in there trying to stop him while a group of college kids or people we don't care about, due to what's it called, an EMP, electromagnetic pulse attack, whatever, that causes their vehicle to die. They go to the base with the Marines or whatever you want to call them, and hilarity ensues. But I didn't find this movie fucking funny. Okay. Characters. You don't give a shit about any of the college kids or whatever they are. So I'm not even going to get into them. You have 2 chicks and like maybe 3 guys. It doesn't matter. They all suck. They're all unimportant. You're not going to give a shit about them. The Commandos. Laughable at best. I'm not going to get into this. The acting in every single person in this movie sucks as an actor or an actress. So there's no point in me just saying this person sucked, this person sucked. The Commandos are not memorable at all for any good reasons. And here's how I'm just going to describe them. Woman. Racist Texas redneck. And you know he's racist because of things he says to the black guy. You have... What is it? You have random Marine. And then you have the leader called Duke, because he literally looks like Duke Nukem from the video games, and they have to make a joke that he looks like Duke Nukem. And he's the... Let's see. The woman has no personality. Black guy has no personality. The other guy has no personality. The guy from Texas, who like I said, he loves his guns. He wears a Texas flag wrapped around his head. You know he's racist because when he turns into a zombie, I guess, we'll get into that, calls the black guy boy. And then you have Duke. Duke Nukem is what I'm going to call him. Duke or Dookie, because he's fucking a shit character. He is so laughably bad in this movie. He tries to be a badass. This movie tries their best to make this fucker a badass, because he's built like a, what do they call it, a brick shit house. He's got the Duke Nukem haircut, the shades and everything. He's always walking slow. He always walks like he can't, he has to walk sideways through the fucking door. He's awful. They try to pump them up. They try to make these commandos cool, because when we first meet them and they're walking through the fucking base, it's in slow motion. This is supposed to be like fucking Reservoir Dogs, okay? And it's just awful and laughable, because you can tell none of these people have any of the charisma of any of the actors in Reservoir Dogs. And that includes Quentin Tarantino, and I don't think Quentin Tarantino has any charisma at all in that movie. Anyway, back to Duke Nukem. Here's how they try to make him a badass. He, like I said, he walks slow. He's muscly. There's a scene where he kills, other guy, other Marine or whatever. After he's turned into a zombie, other guy is. Duke Nukem has a giant sledgehammer. Don't know where he found it, because I fucking lost interest by the time this happened. Beats the shit out of him with the sledgehammer. Then literally does looks into the camera and does like the mic drop moment and drops the sledgehammer on him and walks away. Lame. Then he tries to literally fight the zombie T-Rex, which I'm going to definitely talk about. Because, mad scientist guy, or the professor, what's his name? Dr. Borg. We'll get into that. He has the T-Rex that he turned into a zombie or whatever. Now, first off, this is one of the most misleading fucking box covers you'll ever see. See how it's really, really big, and the buildings, and they're shooting up. This motherfucker never gets over 8 feet tall, if that. But it kind of grows, I guess you would say, as the movie goes on. Because by the end of the movie, it's attacking the survivors in their little getaway Jeep, army Jeep or whatever. And it has to bend down to, hit the side of it type of thing, which is fine. But Duke Nukem actually gets into a one-sided fist fight with this stupid thing. It's so short that, it hunches over a little bit, and it's, face-to-face, eye level with Duke Nukem. And my daughter was watching this, and she didn't even, she asked, why is the dinosaur, the T-Rex, so small? And I thought, he's like, well, maybe it's a baby. And she literally looked, she's like, no, I think maybe the people who made the movie messed up. Quite possibly. But this guy, Duke Nukem, literally takes out the zombie T-Rex by punching it in the face numerous times. The thing falls over, spits out some teeth, and then he just walks away, I'm a badass. Fucking lame and stupid. Let's get to the doctor. Dr. Borg. First off, after he's fired from his job at the college, he walks out and he's hit by a car in like one of the lamest. Like, don't get me wrong, I like bitch slap. That's got some of the worst CGI backgrounds ever, which I think is the point. I don't think this was the point in Jurassic Dead. I understand they probably had a budget of 50 cents, but it seemed like they didn't put in any effort. He's literally hit by a CGI Jeep, and he doesn't like. It's not like like they couldn't afford a stunt guy, obviously, so he couldn't like do the stunt, but literally his legs bend in CGI. He flops over onto the roof, and he is like literally like here he's walking, flops over, and then drives through off screen, complete CGI. It's awful and laughable. I told my wife, hold on one second. That was my daughter on the outside, and she was asking what I was talking about, and I said the stupid dinosaur movie, and then she's like, oh, that was not very good. Shut the door. Anyways, literally folds over, drives off screen. Laughable. Now we cut to present day when he has taken over this military base. He's called Dr. Borg because he looks like he I guess it's because he looks like a Borg. He's now, for some reason, after he was hit by that fucking CGI Jeep, he now has something on his face, like a breathalyzer thing with tubes running around him. He looks like Palpatine mixed with the Borg. And I don't know why he wants to take over the world. I don't know why he wants to launch the nukes. It's never explained, and it's just so stupid. I knew I was in trouble when I put this movie in and the fucking volume didn't work. And it must have been something wrong with my Blu-ray player. I mean, it was telling me a sign, don't watch this, so I turned it off, turned it back on. The volume worked fine. This movie was so bad and so boring. That's the number one cardinal sin in a movie, is to be boring. The movie was so boring. I had 20 minutes left when I first tried to watch this. This is my third time trying to watch this film. First time I tried to watch it, sound was off. I lost interest within 15 minutes, and with 20 minutes left of the film, I turned it off, said fuck it, and I went to bed. Tried to watch it last night. Couldn't finish it. With 30 minutes, like I restarted it. Couldn't finish it. So just finished the last 20 minutes now. And it's awful. And I thought it was 20 minutes left. But actually it was only like maybe 10 to 15, because this movie is barely pushing 90 minutes because there's so much padding in this film. There is a scene where after Duke Nukem gets turned into a zombie, although I think they're zombies because Dr. Borg releases some gas into the compound or whatever, and I think it turns them into zombies because they crave flesh and want to bite you, but they have glowing eyes, but they can still feel pain because zombies get kicked in the nuts and they get hurt. I don't know. So Duke Nukem just kills two guys in the bathroom. I think he kills one of the college kids, and he kills the Texas redneck guy. And then they still try to make him badass. He slowly walks out in the shadows, and he's like 10 feet away, and he's slowly walking in the shadows to some lame-ass fucking hero music. Are we supposed to like him? No, he just killed two people, for the sake of killing them. And that goes on. That walk is at least 15 to 20 seconds. Padding. There is a scene where Dr. Borg, for some reason, sees all the chaos he's creating, and he's literally laughing to himself on screen for 10 to 15 seconds. This has some of the slowest credits. Like 7 minutes of slow moving credits. Like Ginger Dead Man, slow credits. Like this speed. Because there's more padding. And it still doesn't even crack an hour and 90 minutes, or an hour and 30 minutes. Like an hour and 22. The movie itself, not counting the after credits bullshit, which is so fucking dumb, it's maybe an hour and 11 minutes. Like I said, the CGI is awful. I didn't expect great CGI. But there's one scene where Duke Nukem is like standing in front of the final survivors. They're in their Jeep. They've just killed they've killed the zombie T-Rex, who's hardly in the fucking movie. Hardly in the fucking movie. They've run, they're trying to escape the compound. Duke Nukem's standing in front of him, and he flexes. He does the whole fucking, bodybuilder thing, because, ooh, that's fucking scary. They literally run into him, and it's, again, I get it. They can't afford the stuntman. So it's CGI Duke Nukem getting crushed and bending over the hood. You know, getting crushed between the wall and that. But then apparently now these zombies have super strength, or Duke Nukem's just that fucking strong. As they're trying to plow through him and he's holding them back. Fucking stupid. So they back up and then they more padding. One of the only surviving commandos is black guy and girl. Girl starts shooting the hell out of Duke Nukem, and it's like a 10-second long awful CGI shot, you know, camera shot of him just, you know, reacting, and you know the CGI blood flying over. 10 seconds. We don't need that. It's awful. It's lame. It's not even laughable fun. Like laughable bad. So fucking stupid. This. Why? And like I said, this is so misleading. Why do we have Zombie Cat here? This was, like I said, before Dr. Borg was hit by that fucking CGI mess of a Jeep. He's showing his students how he can reanimate the dead with a dead cat. Sticks the reanimator juice in it. And again, this plastic, it's not even like a Muppet, but you can tell it's like someone had their hand up like a plastic looking cat toy, like a cat face. And it was just sadly, you know, making the mouth and turning its head. Fucking lame. So stupid. This movie was not fun. This movie was not memorable for any good reasons. There's hardly any fucking zombie T-Rex, or Z-Rex as they want to fucking call it. Duke Nukem is laughably the most badass character there is. He's not even funny to he's not even fun to make fun of. Bad CGI, bad use of zombies. You don't give a shit about the college kids. You don't give a shit about the commandos. And then, spoilers. I was going to say Duke Nukem. Dr. Borg, the main villain, doesn't even have a good death. He's wheeling out in his wheelchair, and the T-Rex fucking eats him. That's it. The T-Rex fucking eats him. No final battle with the commandos. No nothing. T-Rex eats him. And then we still have, excuse me, the 11 minutes left of garbage. And guess what? There's a timer. They have to get out of the fucking compound, or it's going to explode, and then the nukes are going to go off. Well, guess what? They get out, compound explodes, the nukes still go off. And they want to kind of recreate, I guess, what was the end of Terminator 3, you know, because we see the nukes actually going off in Terminator 3, but on like a budget of 4 cents. It's awful. And guess what? Our survivors are now turned into zombies because of the backlash, or, you know, the radiation or some bullshit. Or zombies, air quotes, because they're driving around with white contacts in their face and now they have the munchies. Fucking dumb. I've talked way too long about this movie, but it is awful. Like I said before, I fucking loved Baby Frankenstein. So it's not like every fucking Wildeye movie is garbage. I hated Shrek Exorcist. This movie was so fucking bad. Not fun in the least. And like I said in the beginning, I really like, air quotes, bad movies at times. This was not one of those times when I liked an air quote bad movie. It was boring, stupid, and I've said enough. I'm happy Fright Friday has come back. I hope more of themes come out. Check out the Horror Freak 85's channel. Like I said, link description and below. He is really really good. Him and I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher her name. I don't know if her name is Lady Boomstick. I think it's something like that. They are really getting people from the horror field of acting on their channel, and their interview. They've had Tom McLaughlin, Danielle Harris. It's a great channel. Highly recommend it. Even though he kind of fucked me with Wicked Wildeye, but it was still fun to participate and do a video on this piece of trash. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. If you like this movie, God bless you. Bless your little heart. Please tell me why. What is it you enjoyed about this movie? Because I really, really want to know. And don't get me wrong. This guy who directed it, or these two people, Milko Davis and Thomas Martwick. I've never made a movie. I get it. You have done more than me, but I'm sorry. I fucking hated this. The end. Comment below. Whatever. Click the bell. I'll see you fucking later. Cheers.